So I've noticed something really crucial over the past few years from talking to musicians just like you. And it's that everybody wants the success, the millions of followers, the glory and fame, but no one wants to do the one thing that it takes to get all of that. So in this video, I'm going to tell you about that one thing and why it's crucial that you do it today. So let's get to it. Hey, and welcome to Music Space, where we help working musicians just like you learn how to quickly and easily make a living with your craft. So if you're new here to the channel, hit that subscribe button and the notification bell. That way you'll be notified when new videos are uploaded. Now, right before we get into this video, if you're a musician looking to level up your career, gain a following, and make some serious passive income, I'm advising all musicians like this to start a YouTube channel today. And that's because right now, YouTube remains the ultimate growth tool for musicians making more money and expanding their fan base. And because of this, I've created the YouTube QuickStart course. And this course is designed to get you up and running and making money on YouTube really quickly. And the best part is it's completely free and you can get instant access to it at the link in the description of this video. Okay, so as I mentioned, there is one really important factor to getting to success. But before I tell you what that one thing is, let me tell you the three things that's actually keeping you from doing that one thing. And the first one is really a big one. It is fear. Fear is one of the biggest things that is keeping you from success. I mean, there's just like a lot of fear built around everything with getting to success. Like, what if it doesn't happen? What if I'm not good enough? And all of these kind of thoughts, and it keeps you from moving toward your goal of success. And that's why fear is so crippling. It gets you in this state of just being afraid to even make moves. But I would ask you, what is the cost of not following your dreams, not venturing out and taking a chance? And I can tell you the answer to that because I've seen it so many times with so many musicians. The cost is unhappiness. You live and go through life with just this unhappiness and feeling unfulfilled because you haven't done the things that you know you wanted to do and that you would love to do. It's also regret and having those thoughts of should have, could have, would have, like I should have done this, I could have done this, and I would have done this if, and then you have all of these reasons or excuses as to why you didn't do things or go toward your goal or your path to success. But this fear thing is really serious, and I would encourage you to live life for you. There's not a single successful person who got to success by living their lives based on other people and what other people thought of them and what other people wanted them to do. Barring a few anomalies here and there and some extenuating circumstances, that's generally not the case. And you have to think about things like, what's the worst that could happen? Like if you started going toward your path of your dreams right now and you got out there and took a chance and it didn't happen and it just failed, well, you could still go back to where you are now. And it would probably be the case that you were more fulfilled for having gone out and taken that chance and simply not gotten it versus, you not trying and making excuses and then later in life having these regrets. Now, another thing that's keeping you from this one factor that I'm going to tell you about is your lack of self-belief. So I've noticed that somewhere in our life's path, we have been put in a place of believing and accepting that we aren't good enough. We've allowed things and people and situations to come in and taper our confidence about ourselves and what it is that we do and what we can do. But my friend, there is a reason you stumbled onto this video today, because let me tell you, we need you in this world. We need your sensibilities, your thoughts, your feelings, your talents. Because guess what? Nobody can be better at being you than you. And here's the truth about this. You've always been enough. You've always had what it takes to get on the path to success and make some serious moves and, get to the destinations that you want to get to. It doesn't mean that there aren't other people out there that are more talented than you, that, have more advantages than you in a lot of areas, but it doesn't matter. That's never been, the thing. That's like another lie we've been taught to believe, that, we have to compete with everybody who is in the same area or in the same field with us. And as an analogy as to why and how that's a lie, think about basketball, the game of basketball. It would be true that if you wanted to get into, say, the NBA, you would have to have a certain amount of skills, and you would have to get in there and you'd have to play against some of the best basketball players in the world. But what that would be is playing a game that already exists, that people have already made rules to, that you would have to get in and abide by the rules. And generally speaking, that's just not a path to success. But what if you, as a lot of successful people have done, start their own game, invent their own game that they're the master at, that they're the big huncho at, that they're the Michael Jordan, the Scottie Pippens and people like that, or whoever your favorite basketball player is. See, that's what successful people do. That's what Elon Musk did with Tesla and what Jeff Bezos did with Amazon. They didn't play a game that was already out there that, already had their top players in it. They went and invented their own game. And that is the ultimate good news for us artists and musicians, because we're creators by nature. We go out and make stuff. We make music, we put stuff together, so we're already ahead of the game. We already have that advantage, but you have to have that self-belief, that self-confidence to be able to do that and understand that you can. Now, following that, the third thing that keeps us from getting to this one thing that I'm going to tell you about is paralysis by analysis. And if you're not familiar with this term or phrase, it basically means that what happens is when we're thinking about doing something, we think about it so much and we put so much thought into it that it actually paralyzes us from taking action. And I see this quite a bit with musicians, because what I found is that a lot of us already do have that success thing in our head, and we kind of know where we want to go and how we want to do it. But we've sat and thought about it so much that, we just like, oh my God, I got to do this. We need this. We got to have this. This needs to be there. All of this kind of stuff. And then that inundates us, and it's like, it's so much, it's like an overload. It makes us just sit and be like, well, okay, I'm not really going to do it today. And then today becomes a week, that becomes a month, that becomes years. And this is the case with most things that we try to venture out and do. For example, it may be the case that you want to release a CD or an album or an EP or whatever, and you're thinking about everything that it's going to take to get it done. You need this amount of money. You need to know these people. You need to get these people on board to collaborate and all of these kind of things. And what's happened is, because you've thought about those things so much, all of these peripheral things that you think are needed and necessary and that you have to make your dream or your goal happen, it's inundated you. You've kind of just been stuck because you don't have those things at your disposal. So of course you're going to be like, okay, well, I can't do this now. And it's absolutely crazy, because a lot of musicians that are like that actually do have the resources that they need to get things done. So there needs to be a lot less thinking and a lot more doing. One of the principles that I teach in a lot of my online courses is a principle called speed of implementation. And basically what this is like a law that states that whenever you get an idea about something, that excitement that you have about that idea, the fervor you have about it, tapers off gradually and really quickly over time, the more time that passes by. So what the speed of implementation says is that you need to be taking advantage of that excitement and that fervor that you have at the beginning of an idea, because it gradually becomes less likely that you're going to do it or take action on it. So this is why it's really important that we don't get paralyzed by analyzing things and overthinking things too much, and that we take action really quickly. So again, a lot less thinking and a lot more doing. Okay, so what is this one thing that I've been talking about or referring to that is keeping you from success? Well, it's something that is so simple that when you hear it, you're going to be like, well, duh. But by far, one of the most powerful things that you can do to be successful is just start. And like I said, I know that this sounds simple, but I am telling you, there is so many of us musicians and artists who simply don't do this. We just don't start. And it's all because of the three things that I've talked about in this video so far: the fear, the lack of self-belief, and the paralysis by analysis. And I'm so serious about this, my friend. Listen, this thing about starting is so important that it's one of the biggest, most powerful principles that people like Tony Robbins and other self-help gurus that help people get to their goals and get to success and live their dreams, they weave this into everything that they put out because they understand how powerful starting is. You've heard the old adage that a journey of 1,000 miles begins with one step. Getting to success is all about starting with that one step, taking that one step towards success. And then what happens is, as you take one step, the next step gets a little easier. And then on and so forth and so on, you're moving toward your path to success. So what if 6 months or a year from now, you could be 25, 50% closer to where you want to be? It all comes down to starting. So here's what I want you to do. Just take a few seconds and think about what your goals and dreams are as a musician. And then I want you to take one step. I want you to just start on that path to getting to wherever that is that you want to go. Just start and take a step toward doing that thing and getting toward that goal. And in the meantime, I've done some other videos that will help you on your path as a musician to success, and they're here, and you definitely want to check them out right now.